Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 1 of the Netflix original, Big Mouth. So when I went into Big Mouth, I assumed it's another adult animated series capitalizing on the success of other adult animated shows like Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman, and others. And it sort of is, but that by itself is not a bad thing if it means we get more great shows. So Big Mouth is a show about puberty. It follows a few 12 or 13-year-old kids as they start going through puberty, with all the changes and emotions and awkwardness that puberty involves. They definitely leverage the format. They take these ideas in a very literal sense. You have an actual hormone monster as a recurring character. He represents the sexual drive and poor decision-making skills you have as a 13-year-old boy. Kind of like other non-human characters in animated shows, sometimes it seems like the other characters can see Maurice, and sometimes it seems like they can't, but then he breaks a window or something and you can see another character like react to that or notice that. Point is, it doesn't matter. The show has fun with it, and you should also. The first couple of episodes have some great moments, but overall are not great, and they made me feel like this really is just a show that's trying to ride the success of other animated shows, but that completely turned around for me by the end of the season. In episode 3, it really picks up and becomes much funnier, but also pretty clever. The things these kids are going through are at their core super relatable, and the show just wraps those little pieces of real life with the craziest, nastiest humor they could possibly think of. Most of the time it works, other times it just feels like a bit much, like they're trying to show you what they can get away with on Netflix, which is absolutely anything. The show is also super meta, very aware of being a Netflix show, which again, sometimes works for some funny moments and sometimes it just doesn't. But anyway, there were a few things that I absolutely loved about this show, and number one is the voice acting. The voice acting in this show is perfect, especially Maya Rudolph and John Mulaney. You clearly have children with adult voices, which the show pulls off and I thought was hilarious by itself. But if you've ever watched any of John Mulaney's stand-up shows, which I highly recommend, you'll recognize the brand of humor that comes from his character in this show. It just fits perfectly, and Maya Rudolph is just about the funniest part of this whole thing. So overall, I thought this show was great. I enjoyed it a lot. It just keeps getting close to that line of overdoing it every now and then. For example, cursing is going to be much more noticeable on an animated show, and especially one about children. So in Big Mouth, sometimes it's funny, and other times it's just like they wanted to say as many bad words as possible. It's really a minor point though. The important thing for me about this show, same as all other adult animated shows, is that in the end it does something clever, or tells a good story, or explores an interesting idea. If a show just does, messed up things and says fuck a lot for the sake of saying it, it might be funny at first, but it'll get old fast. Big Mouth does take an interesting look at puberty and growing up, and it just does it in a messed up, exaggerated, and funny way. And it's also super clear that the people making this show had so much fun making it. There are jokes in there where you can just imagine Nick Kroll writing and giggling to himself, not believing he can finally get away with this on a TV show. I love that sort of thing. I feel it makes a show like this even more fun to watch. Bottom line, should you watch it? Sure, if you're a fan of all the other animated shows, or if you ever liked anything from the comedians who made this show, I'm pretty sure you'll have a lot of fun with Big Mouth. The first couple of episodes don't really do the rest of it justice, but every episode is just like 20 or 30 minutes, so it's not a big deal. What about you? Have you watched Big Mouth? What were your thoughts about it? And what's your favorite episode of an animated show ever? A single episode, your favorite one. I have one. What's yours? I don't know how much you can really spoil this show, but if you're going to be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and TV Time, or you can join our Discord server where we chat about TV and it's a lot of fun. All the links are in the description down below. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time!